The sun is going to destroy the Earth in 2025. A solar flare is an intense burst of radiation coming from the release of magnetic energy associated with sunspots. Flares are our solar system's largest explosive events. They are seen as bright areas on the sun, and they can last from minutes to hours. We typically see a solar flare by the photons, or light, it releases at most every wavelength of the spectrum. But before we begin, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for such amazing and informative videos. From the reports, our Earth has experienced 1 or 2 regular solar flares, whose energies are equivalent to millions and billions of volcanic eruptions, but the magnetic energy of the Earth has prevented us from the damage. NASA recently claimed that in 2025, the Earth will be destroyed by the strongest solar flare in history, and that solar flare energy is greater than the explosion of billions of nuclear bombs. And the magnetic power of Earth also can't prevent us from solar flares, which means the sun is going to destroy the Earth. All stars die, and our sun is a star. Therefore, it makes sense that at some point down the line, our sun, which provides life to Earth, will die too. When it does, scientists say that the sun will destroy Earth, Mercury, and Venus, leaving our entire solar system devastated. A full pot can only boil for so long before it finally boils over, and the sun is kind of like a pot of water, just boiling away for billions of years. Right now, our star is still young, generating tons of energy and acting as a source of light and heat that helps keep Earth alive. But, one day, that same energy will cause the sun to destroy Earth and other planets along with it. This isn't a new idea. Scientists have estimated that our sun will explode within the next 5 billion years for quite a while now. A new study that researchers submitted to the Astrophysical Journal says that when it does, the sun will destroy Mercury, Venus, and possibly the Earth. The level of that destruction is still unclear, though. To better understand how the sun will destroy the Earth, researchers performed several 3D hydrodynamical simulations. This helped them better understand the range of possible outcomes after a sun-like star engulfs a planet. They found that it depends heavily on the planet's size and the star's current stage. Because of the Earth's size, some say it won't be completely devoured, as Mercury and Venus are likely to be. However, the sun will still make the Earth unlivable. That's because when the sun enters its red giant phase, it will lose all its hydrogen. When that happens, its border will expand multiple times over and engulf anything in its way. As a result, our sun could destroy Earth. While the solar cycle is not yet at its peak, the space agency said activity has already surpassed predictions. Solar flares and eruptions will likely increase from now until 2025, as we reach the solar maximum, writes Nicola Fox, the director of NASA's Heliophysics division. During the sun's natural 11-year cycle, the sun shifts from relatively calm to stormy, then back again, says Fox. At its most active, called the solar maximum, the sun is freckled with sunspots and its magnetic poles reverse. That sort of solar activity has impacts here on Earth. It could disrupt navigational tools like GPS, cause blackouts and problems with power grids, and cause radio communication issues. Strong solar flares, which are basically intense bursts of radiation, could also create health risks for astronauts, issues for spacecraft, and potentially create concerns about the health of flight crews and passengers on airplanes. At 7:09 p.m. last Sunday, satellites detected an explosion on the sun and a long-lasting eruption of a C9.3 class solar flare, according to professional astronomer and science writer Tony Phillips's website spaceweather.com, which monitors solar activity. The intensity is probably an underestimate because it was partially eclipsed by the edge of the sun. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory saw hot debris flying away from the blast site, the site reported on Monday. Earth is not in the line of fire. The explosion is significant because it may herald an active region set to emerge over the sun's northeastern limb later this week. A new sunspot group could bring an end to weeks of relative quiet. Depending on the exact outcome, the engulfed planet may be pulled into a much tighter orbit that completely devours it. Or the ability to create a new world may become available because of the changes. Scientists believe our sun has reached the middle of its life, roughly 4.57 billion years old. They also believe that's the cause of the ongoing solar activity we're experiencing. In 5 billion years, it will start to die. And when that happens, the chances of the sun destroying Earth are very likely. While we'll likely see more solar flares and the resulting complications, as we approach 2025, there's no need to fear a doomsday scenario. Some people worry that a gigantic, killer solar flare could hurl enough energy to destroy Earth, but this is not actually possible, NASA explains. Plus, solar cycles repeat every 11 years. That means anyone over the age of 11 has already lived through a solar maximum. But this is not the first time this has happened. On September 1, 1859, British astronomer Richard Carrington was observing the activities of the Sun when he suddenly observed a very high intense light through their telescope, and went blind for 5 minutes. But he thought that it was just a comet, and he ignored it, but it was the strongest solar flare, with a speed of millions of kilometers per second. On September 2, 1859, the solar flare collapsed on Earth's magnetic field and the whole sky was filled by the beautiful auroras, but the reality was different. The light was very strong and looked like a day in the night. And when the charged particles of solar flares are entered in Earth's upper atmosphere, suddenly the transformers, electrical appliances, and towers are burnt out. Despite the high voltage current flow, people are killed by the shocks, and due to the power cut, emergency services are also blocked. The result is that more than 30,000 people are killed. But at that time, electricity was newly introduced, and at that time, the uses of electricity were also less, but at the time of Industry 3.0, now 87% of the world is run on electricity. According to NASA's calculations, the upcoming solar flare will be 100% bigger than the 1859 solar flare. NASA launched the satellite ACE, Advanced Composition Explorer, to observe the solar flares and radiations. But if the satellite detects any solar flare, then we only have 30 minutes to protect ourselves from the calculations. The speed of solar flares is 42,283,200 kilometers per second. Did you learn something new about, is the Sun going to destroy the Earth in 2025? That you didn't know before? We hope you did. So, if you're interested in learning more amazing knowledge about science, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our new videos. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to comment your views on this. Thanks for watching to the end.